This week on Maker Update, a camera that can't see straight, the Raspberry Pi 500, a chair for your clothes, skin for your robots, and tricking a plotter into writing all your wedding notes. Hello and welcome back to Maker Update, the show where you go to get the update on all the cool things that makers are making. I'm Tyler Weingartner and I hope you're all doing great. We've got a big show for you, so let's get started with the project of the week. As many different kinds of cameras as there are in the world, optically speaking, they're all pretty much the same. They take a scene of reflected light, focus it through a tiny point so the scene can be captured by an image sensor within the camera. But what if that tiny point wasn't in the same place every time, and instead of capturing a large scene, it could capture a tiny one? That would be completely different. That's the idea behind this inverse perspective camera created by Shane of Stuff Made Here. His original idea was to develop a camera that could see a person hiding behind a barrier. An ordinary camera projects its field of view out from the lens, so even if a person is larger than the obstacle, if they're far enough behind it and lined up perfectly, they'll remain hidden. Shane is making a camera that breaks all the rules of ordinary cameras. It's a single focal point that moves around on a gantry, so it can capture an image from multiple points of view. To cut down on potential motion vibrations, his gantry is linear and the camera sled is counterbalanced. But this would only capture a one-dimensional image, which is why the whole gantry spins on its central axis. This enables it to capture all sorts of wild images, like the ones that remove perspective entirely. It creates a single composite image out of hundreds of tiny points, and because that focal point can change position, it can create an image that would be generated by all sorts of weird lenses that would be impossible to create otherwise. It's a wild journey, but the images this camera produces have an undeniably otherworldly look to them. You just can't create these types of images with any other kind of camera. Oh, and it can actually see a person hiding behind a barrier, so it checks off that box as well. To see the full extent of Shane's struggle with this project, check out the full video down in the description. Now for some news, the Raspberry Pi Foundation just released the Raspberry Pi 500. Like its predecessor, the 400, this is the guts of a Raspberry Pi 5 in a keyboard, reminiscent of classic computers like the Commodore 128 or the Apple IIe. The panel on the back exposes all the ports you get on a Raspberry Pi 5, even the GPIO pins. But in his teardown, Jeff Geerling finds this unpopulated area of the board that looks suspiciously like it was intended for an M2 port for additional storage. Maybe there's plans for a future expansion. The Pi 500 is available now for $90. More projects. Becky Stern has a new video on her channel about how she made the placement cards for her recent wedding using her NextDraw plotter. While that's a perfect project for anyone with a plotter, what makes this one unique is how she approached this as a data-driven endeavor. She created the master spreadsheet in Notion, including each guest's name, their greeting, and a personalized note to each one from either her or her husband. And then she took that entire database and fed it into the NextDraw merge software, which allowed it to parse the database cell by cell and turn those values into vector data for the plotter, all in the font and the pen of her choosing. With over 100 guests, this would be a pretty daunting project to take on by hand. So this is a clever way to make it a whole lot more manageable, and an interesting way to tackle a big project. In his effort to create a lifelike animatronic head, Will Cogley has a video on how he created this realistic skin for this robotic face. And as he describes it, it's his most unsettling creation yet. The skin is made from silicone, and his process of molding it could be a project unto itself. Using 3D printed master molds, silicone intermediary molds, it was a tough struggle. To attach the skin, he's using neodymium magnets pressed into the 3D printed parts, and holding them in place using these magnetic pads on top of the skin. He developed it into a slightly more cartoonish look to avoid the uncanny valley. Check it out. Chances are that if you have a chair in your bedroom, it tends to attract a certain kind of clothing. Something that's worn, so it shouldn't go back on the hanger, but not dirty enough to go to the laundry. Simone has one of these and she hates the way it looks. So she's building a chair so that she can keep her half-worn laundry out of sight. Built into the base of the chair is this massive Lazy Susan bearing, and attached to it is a sort of secondary armrest. You swing that around to the front of the chair, pile on the clothes you'll be wearing again in a few days, and turn it back around to hide it all behind the backrest. It's a clever solution to being fastidious about your laundry, and I gotta say, it looks great too. Time for some tips and tools. Be honest. How long does it take for your shop to start looking like this? Now that Laura Kampf has a smaller shop, hers can get messy in a hurry. So she needs a system to keep it organized. But the truth is, she already has one. She stores parts in these Thanos boxes. But she needs a system to keep them organized. And she needs a tool to make it easy to build these cabinets to store the boxes. You get to see her and Simone design this template that allows Laura to build these cabinets with ease, mount the rails, and get organized in a hurry. It's tough to commit to a system, but it's easy to see the benefits once you do. A few weeks ago, Freecad finally reached its 1.0 release. Freecad is a free and open source CAD package capable of parametric 3D modeling, 2D sketching, model simulations, and a whole lot more. Like with any CAD package, your first steps into it can feel a little daunting. On their YouTube channel, DeltaHedra has a guide to help get you started. Whether you need access to a free CAD package or you just want to learn a new tool, check this video out. And finally, Valve has released an updated version of SteamLink for the Raspberry Pi 5. SteamLink is a software that allows you to stream your games from your PC to a thin client, so you can play on any TV in your house. On the Pi 5, you'll see support for H.264 1080p for up to 144 frames per second, HEVC 4K at 60 FPS, and 1080p at 240 FPS. But you don't even need a Raspberry Pi 5 to get in on the fun. The app has also been updated to support the Pi 4, 3, and even the 02W. And since it's now meant to run on Raspberry Pi Bookworm, it's dead easy to install too. For this week's DigiKey Spotlight, check out this article on understanding the basics of screws. You might not think this is a complicated topic until you're trying to describe exactly what fastener you need to somebody else. This article will tell you how to measure the diameter, length, and thread pitch, and the correct vernacular for the screw head shape and drive type, and the different screw types you're likely to find in electronics work. Worth checking out. Alright, and that is going to do it for this week's show. And remember, you can get more info about every single one of these projects by following the links down in the description. While you're there, leave us a comment, give us a thumbs up, and hit subscribe so you won't miss the next one. As always, huge thanks to DigiKey for making this whole show possible, and to you for watching. Take care. We'll see you soon.